This year, consumers are holiday shopping earlier than ever. More than half will start by the end of October, and many will do most or all of their shopping, of course, online. So what are some of the ways to stretch your budget this year? CNET senior editor Nick Wolny is here with some tips. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I can't believe we're talking about holiday shopping,
Yep.
but I guess that's the thing to do now, right?
At CNET, we refer to it as 84 days. It's the 12-week period from the first Monday in October all the way through Christmas Eve. And what we know from data is that consumers are more likely to be spending, they're more likely to be traveling, booking travel, and they're more likely to be shopping, particularly online. We also found from a report that we did last week that 69% of consumers said they were likely to overspend at some point during this long, sort of more marathon-like holiday shopping season that has now become the norm. So if that's you, if you know that you like to, give in a temptation, buy something off an ad on your phone or whatever, then maybe maybe just start to pace in terms of how much you're going to let yourself do that, because shopping season is in full swing for some retailers.
So that's, the majority of people are now shopping online.
Right.
So are there considerations besides kind of taking it easy?
Yeah, I think there's just a couple of online shopping best practices to keep in mind. Number one is that it would be really good to look into installing something like a browser extension. These are free shopping extensions you can put on your browser, and it'll show you comparative prices on a certain product. So if you know you've got your eye for a certain product, maybe it's going to be cheaper on one website than on another website. That's something you can implement now. Another thing to take into consideration if you're shopping particularly for things like decorations is that if you buy off season, it's usually going to be at a lower price. If you're buying the Thanksgiving hopper or the Thanksgiving decorations in November, those are going to be twice the price likely just because of the markup. And so that's just something with this longer season that you might want to take into consideration if you're going to do that.
That's why you should really think of Christmas in July, buy the lights and mark the calendar and do it 6 months ahead of time.
Right, exactly. And luckily we don't have the supply chain issues that we had a couple of years ago where we were all being scared in terms of, if you want a new gadget, you'd better get it 3 months in advance. That's not happening this year, but with every passing year, it was Black Friday, and then it was the week before Black Friday, and now we're fully in October at this point.
No, we are, and it's interesting too, because while some people may not be shopping just yet for specific items, I know people are shopping for travel.
Oh yeah.
Because I have some travel coming up in November that I've waited on, and now I'm disappointed in myself because the prices are just astronomical when you talk about
Well, they're starting to go up, but with Google Flights in particular, one nice thing that they've added is that they will show you what the price of the flight for that time period has been historically, so to try to help you get a better deal. Also, Google Flights data has shown us that if you're flying during Christmas week, the cheapest time to get that flight is right around this time.
Really?
To be exact, 71 days before Christmas is usually the cheapest time of year. So you're not late, you're right on time if you're flying in December, but now would be a good time to start shopping for travel. Particularly in December, because this is that dip where flights are historically going to be the lowest. Okay,
I'm going to get online the minute the show is over, because I have to book. Tomorrow also starts Amazon Prime, their big deal days. What are some other dates shoppers should know about?
Yeah, Amazon Prime big deal days. It's basically another Amazon Prime day. They're doing another round of it, and you have other retailers that are creating some competition, basically.
They hop on board.
Yep, you have Walmart doing their holiday spending event. You have Best Buy that's going to be doing a 48-hour flash sale. That starts tomorrow. And so even going back to that online shopping piece, today might be a good time to decide what things am I particularly looking for, what things do I particularly want. That way, if you do see it go on sale or if you do see it at a better price, then you can splurge. You can do that kind of guilt-free and not get sucked up in all of this sort of impulse buying. We're smiling as we're talking. You get to January and you're like, oh God, what have I done? I blacked out the last 3 months, right? And so this can be a good time now that it is a longer shopping season and there are some good deals to be had. Just take a moment and decide, what am I really jonesing for? What am I really scouting out for this holiday season? Then if you see that deal, go for it.
Makes sense. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All good tips and tricks, and you can find out more information about CNET by going to kcalnews.com, clicking Scene on TV. We now want to head over to Amy Johnson to see what's coming up on the 10 at 10.